It's a new year, and whether you have a new garden or an existing garden, the little things that you do each day in your garden will make all the difference. In today's video, I'll share the 6 habits of highly successful gardeners. But if we haven't met before, my name's Angela from Growing in the Garden, and I love to share garden inspiration and helpful tips so you can be successful in your own garden. Once you have the fundamentals in place, you have good soil, good watering, and you're planting at the right time, there are a few things that you can do to determine the success of your garden. Making it a habit to do these 6 things will improve the health and success of your garden. Throughout the years, I've made it a habit to spend some time in my garden each day. But what are you supposed to do when you're out in your garden? As you walk around your garden, it's important to look and assess specific things. The more you do it, the easier it will get, and it will become second nature to you. When I head out to my garden each day with my pruning shears in my back pocket, here are the things that I do. One of the most important parts of your garden is the watering system. It's important to spend time in your garden when the watering system is running. If you're out there when it's running, you'll be able to see how it's doing. You'll be able to spot problems like a broken emitter, a dead battery, a leak, why the problem is still small and the health of your plants isn't affected. Make it a habit to be in your garden when your watering system is running. Checking the watering system also means checking the frequency and adjusting that as needed. Check your beds, check your containers, dig down a little bit and see if the soil is still moist or if it's dry. That way you'll know if your bed is getting enough water or maybe it needs a little bit more water. Take a look at your containers. Before you automatically water everything, dig down and make sure that those containers need watering. Check your plants for signs of needing water. Signs that your plant might need water are yellowing, dried leaves at the bottom, and wilted plants. Signs of overwatering include a wilted plant, but it has really wet soil, brown leaves, yellow falling leaves, new growth is falling off, floppy plant, mold, slimy or foul-smelling roots. The next thing to keep an eye on is any pruning that needs to happen. If I don't have my pruners with me, I feel uncomfortable when I'm out in the garden because I'm always snipping a leaf here or there, cutting something back, picking up fallen leaves, deadheading. I'm looking at my tomatoes, pruning out any suckers, pruning off dead leaves. Keeping my herbs pruned back keeps my chickens happy and my herbs happy too. Little by little, you're getting those jobs done, and that keeps the plants healthier and happier and your garden picked up. The next thing I look for as I'm walking around my garden are signs of pests and diseases. It's so much easier to catch problems with pests and diseases when they're small. A few eggs on the back of a leaf are easy to destroy. A couple of leaves that have powdery mildew are much easier to take care of. Walking around your garden and spotting the very first signs of pests and diseases is the first step in keeping that under control. So here's what you're looking for. Look for holes in leaves. Check the undersides of leaves. Check around new seedlings. See what's going on. If you see holes on leaves, check the back of leaves. Oftentimes you will see a caterpillar or some eggs. I like to pull those leaves off and feed them to my chickens. A few aphids or chewed leaves aren't cause for alarm, but it lets you know what's going on and what things to look out for as you're walking around your garden. If you're aware that problems are developing, then you can keep an eye on it and decide when you are ready to treat. Treating may just mean spraying off with water or removing affected leaves. Pulling off affected leaves is a great first step in treating. This next step is my favorite. Notice what's growing. Notice the new growth. Notice the seedlings popping up from the earth. Notice the blossoms, the new buds on flowers, and the new fruit developing. It's so exciting to see all of this happening, and sometimes we're not aware of everything that's going on. As you walk around and notice what's growing, you can help those plants out. Some plants may find a trellis all on their own, but other plants need to be guided up and around that trellis. Keeping those stems and branches attached to trellises helps ensure that they're not bending and breaking and falling over. During squash season especially, I make it a point to be out in the garden in the morning. Those blossoms open up first thing in the morning, and if you need to hand pollinate, that is the time to do it. Finally, pay attention to what needs to be harvested. It's so rewarding to walk around the garden filling up your harvest basket. It's a good idea to assess how much needs to be harvested. You may need to enlist help to come and pick those beans or peas. Picking young and often encourages production. Leaving fruit on the vine too long encourages the plant to slow down and produce less. It also invites pests and diseases as well. You can also see when things are beginning to be ready. When my peaches are about ripe, the birds head into them. I have to pick them a day or two early to get them before the birds. Once tomatoes begin to ripen, I also harvest them so the birds don't get them. Harvesting during the cool temperatures of morning usually ensures that the flavor is the best. Now you know what I do when I head out to my garden every day. What things do you look for? Let me know in the comments. Spending time in your garden each day doing these 6 things will help keep your garden healthy and happy. Thank you so much for watching.